Hello and welcome to Pushing Back, Ukraine Daily Brief. As the war enters its 764th day, these are the main developments from the past 24 hours. Russia has lost approximately 440,790 troops in Ukraine since the beginning of the war, the General Staff of Ukraine's armed forces reported. The number, which has not been independently verified, includes 820 casualties over the past day. According to the released Ukrainian figures, Russia lost 8 tanks, 27 armored combat vehicles, 28 artillery systems, 2 multiple launch rocket systems, 6 air defense systems, 56 drones, 5 cruise missile, 50 vehicles, and 7 pieces of special equipment. A new package of German military aid was announced. The package includes drones, various types of vehicles, various types of artillery ammunition, and more. The update from the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine. There were 48 combat engagements. The enemy launched a total of 4 missile and 77 air strikes, carried out 53 multiple launch rocket system. The Ukrainian Air Force launched air strikes on 14 concentrations of troops, weapons and military equipment of the occupiers. Also, the Ukrainian Air Defense Forces and means destroyed 1 guided missile. The Ukrainian missile forces hit 4 command posts, 4 air defense systems, 2 artillery systems, and 1 ammunition depot of the Russian invaders. In its latest intelligence update, the UK's Ministry of Defence reports. The Ukrainian Air Force launched attacks on Crimea on March 24, 2024. They hit the Black Sea Fleet's communication center and damaged several warships, including landing ships and an intelligence ship. This attack forced Russia to move valuable vessels out of Sevastopol and highlights Ukraine's ongoing efforts to weaken Russia's naval power in the Black Sea. In its latest intelligence update, the Institute for the Study of War. Ukraine is currently preventing Russian forces from making significant tactical gains along the entire front line, but continued delays in U.S. security assistance will likely expand the threat of Russian operational success, including in non-linear and possibly exponential ways. The continued degradation of Ukraine's air defense umbrella provides one of the most immediate avenues through which Russian forces could generate non-linear operational impacts. Russia's ability to conduct opportunistic but limited offensive actions along Ukraine's international border with Russia offers Russia further opportunities to constrain Ukrainian manpower and material, but Western aid provisions and Ukrainian efforts to address manpower challenges would ease the impacts of such Russian efforts. Russian President Vladimir Putin continued to make sensationalized statements as part of Russia's ongoing reflexive control campaign, which aims to deter further Western military aid provisions to Ukraine and deflect attention from the growing Russian force posturing against NATO. Putin's March 27 statements are neither new nor surprising, and best illustrate how the Kremlin routinely overwhelms the Western information space, often with irrelevant or decontextualized truths rather than with outright misinformation or disinformation, to shape global perceptions and advance its own long-term objectives. The Russian Investigative Committee unsurprisingly claimed that it has evidence tying Ukraine to the March 22 Crocus City Hall attack amid continued Kremlin efforts to link Ukraine and the West to the terrorist attack to generate more domestic support for the war in Ukraine. Russian President Vladimir Putin expressed concern for heightened ethnic tension in Russian society following the Crocus City Hall attacks and may be falsely blaming Ukraine and the West for the Crocus City Hall attack in order to divert domestic attention away from ethnic tensions. Ukrainian drone strikes against oil refineries in Russia are reportedly forcing Russia to import gasoline from Belarus. An independent investigation found that international information operation campaigns linked to deceased Wagner Group financier Yevgeny Prigozhin remained active, despite the Russian government shutting down media companies and organizations overtly linked to Prigozhin after his death. Senior Russian officials are intensifying their victim-blaming of Armenian leadership as Armenia continues to distance itself from security relations with Russia after the Kremlin abandoned Armenia to its fate as it lost Nagorno-Karabakh. Russia continues efforts to source ballistic missiles and other weapons from North Korea for use in Ukraine. Russian forces made confirmed advances near Donetsk city. In Zelensky's nightly briefing, he covered several significant points. Firstly, the introduction of Oleg Ivashenko as the new head of the Foreign Intelligence Service of Ukraine, emphasizing his experience and strength, and the need to bolster operational capabilities to counter Russia's extensive influence operations worldwide. Secondly, discussions with international figures such as Mike Johnson, Speaker of the U.S. House of Representatives, and the President of the French National Assembly, highlighting ongoing Russian attacks on Ukrainian cities and the importance of global support for Ukraine's defense of freedom. Thirdly, engagement with MEPs from the Renew Europe group regarding the upcoming European Parliament elections and the collective defense of European values. Lastly, Defense Minister Umerov's report on defense packages and efforts to equip Ukrainian forces with necessary resources for their defense. Overall, he said the focus remains on countering Russian aggression, strengthening alliances, and ensuring Ukraine's security and defense. Thanks for following today's updates. Please don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. We'll return tomorrow with the latest news on the ongoing conflict.